Welcome to another episode of the Fairway Divorce Den. Today I'm going to ask you a question. So you're sitting at the crossroads, you're about to go through a divorce, and you're thinking to yourself, what? That's the first question. What are you thinking? Do I want to move through this in the best way for my bank account, for my children, for my well-being? That's one way of thinking. The other way of thinking is, I am really ticked, and darn it anyways, I'm going to get him or her back. Well, let me tell you something. Those two thought patterns are going to set the stage for your outcome. It is possible. It is possible to have a win-win in divorce. It is not possible to have a win-win in divorce if you are hiring two lawyers to fight it out in court. The average person in Canada who uses lawyers solely, without any other professionals, is spending well in excess of $30,000 and over 3 years in the court system. I don't get it. I don't get why in the 21st century we are still thinking that our domestic issues should be decided by a judge who doesn't know us. There's a thinking that is completely outdated that says, if I hire a good lawyer, or I need a good lawyer, I will what? Get more money? Not likely, because the laws are actually pretty good in this country. My husband will pay, or my wife will pay? Not likely. It's pretty much 50-50, excluding, of course, exemptions and all that kind of stuff. But the laws are pretty easy. That the courts are going to penalize my spouse for their bad behavior, and darn it anyways, I want that person to pay extra because of their bad behavior. Got news for you, this is a no-fault country. The courts are going to tell, darn it anyways, that person needs to know they're a crappy parent and they've wrecked our life and they've wrecked our family. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get what you're looking for. The best way to get that revenge is by getting on with your life and being happy and successful. But back to the issue at hand. Yes, you do need a team to help you through decisions in your divorce if there are issues around money and kids. Absolutely. And a form of collaboration where you have a combination of financial experts, some legal advice, some psychologists perhaps. They're all important parts. But what you really need is you need a neutral, somebody who is completely non-biased, guiding and directing the entire process, managing all these people in your advice group. I'm going to tell you right now, there is no such thing as a win-win in the court system. There is only a win-lose, but there's worse than that. It's mostly a lose-lose. It's a zero-sum game. And I was told that 15 years ago, and I've been ranting and raving about it ever since. And it's only now, it's only in the last few years that we actually see reform starting to happen within the system. The problem is, the system is trying to fix the system. And hats off to them. And I hope they can do it. And I'm cheerleading behind them. But in the meantime, we're losing money, we're losing time, we're destroying lives, we're destroying assets. So it's up to you to become educated. It's up to you to demand accountability. It's up to you to be smart about how you're going to move through this time. And do not look for your divorce process to get back at your spouse. No, it's not going to work. It's a waste of money and it's a waste of time. And if you don't believe me, then you ask everybody else who's been through it. If you don't believe me, then you go right down that path that's going to lead to nothing but destruction. Come on, let's face it. Your marriage fell apart. That doesn't mean that you cannot raise great children. But it will mean if you go through divorce in a really bad way and you don't handle it in the best way that you can, your kids will suffer. And the only person to blame for that is yourself. So what I'm saying is, be smart, be wise, do your education. Thank you for listening. And thanks for sharing another day of the Divorce Den.